full-blown acceleration here. It's pretty dang quick. It is pretty dang quick. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video I'm going to be reviewing an Audi Q5 with the 45 version of the powertrain and in the S Line package. Now, for the 2023 model year, there's actually not a bunch of major changes. The biggest thing is that adaptive cruise control is now standard equipment, but I've actually never reviewed a Q5, and so here we are. Anyways, a huge shout out and thank you to the Strong Audi here in Salt Lake City, Utah for giving me some time with this Q5. I'm going to put a link to their website in the description down below so you can see what they currently have in inventory. If you have any questions whatsoever, just ask for Mike or Landon. And then as always, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. So under the hood we have a turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder that goes through a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission. It's paired to a 12-volt mild hybrid system. Total system output 261 horsepower and then 273 pound-feet of torque, with fuel economy being 23 around town and then 28 on the highway, and a 0 to 60 time of 5.7 seconds. Let's go over the front end of this Q5. So first off, I love this blue color. It's pretty interesting. You guys can see, kind of has a cool sparkle there in the sunlight. Really distinctive body lines here on either side of the hood with the Q5. And then you guys can see here with the daytime running light and with the headlight, pretty crazy with the overall appearance. And then we do have parking sensors here on the front end. We've got the signature Audi logo that's finished in chrome with the camera there at the bottom. This has the black optics package, so notice the grille has been blacked out all around. And sorry about my shadow, but there's the front end. Coming around the side here, our tire and wheel setup is 255, 45, 20 in the front and in the rear as well. And then you guys can see here on the top of the wheel, you got the silver, and then there's kind of like a dark metallic gray below that, so that, you know, it kind of makes the wheel have this cool well, it is 3D, but it has this cool three-dimensional effect. And then of course we got our Audi Sport logo there as well. Here's a quick look at the front suspension. And then notice here with the fender flare how that is body painted. We have our S Line logo here on the side, and well, there's your full side view. So here is our key fob. You guys can see pretty normal Audi key fob. We've got the logo there at the bottom. We have the opening for the hatch, the lock, and then the unlock function. Press that a couple times, and that'll pop that right open. And well, first off, we got over floor mats here in the back, I suppose, but underneath, you can see we've got our little spare tire setup down below. And overall storage space back here is actually really solid. Now I have these latches right here, and what they actually do is throw down the seats. So just pull the latch and then the seat goes forward so you can have a little bit more space. And other than that, that's pretty much everything for the rear. So you've got this button up here to lock it, and then that just lowers down the hatch, and there you go. Now let's finish things with the rest of the rear. First off, I love the taillights with the whole sequential light dance. It's pretty fun. And other than that though, it's relatively simplistic. The covers for the exhaust tips look pretty aggressive for a car that has a turbocharged 4-cylinder. Parking sensors there at the bottom, and because the lights are actually on the hatch that moves, you have to have a second set of lights down below at the bottom of the bumper. That's why those lights are there, which is kind of funny, but there's the rear. So here is the rear door panel. First off, you guys can see the sunshade is up, and then we have some wood trim down below, and then you can see the leather trim down below that with our little window control. And something's cool about, well, the S Line package now comes standard with the Bang & Olufsen sound system for the 23 model year. Anyways, you can see here with the seats, we've got the perforations all down the center, and popping in, ooh, tons of legroom. Tons of headroom as well, and then we've got a little storage net here, a couple vents for the temperature in the rear, and then you can see with the USB stuff, it says charge only, and the 12-volt. And of course, we have our cup holder armrest. Most important thing in any car, as always. Let's head to the front. Now here is the front door panel. You guys can see again with the wood trim, and then notice this does have memory seats, and then here's a quick look at the mirror that's folded in. And then we've got all of our controls here for the windows, and the mirror adjustments, again, they do power fold in, and nice padding. And then again, another speaker for the Bang & Olufsen sound system. And then here are the front seats. So again, you've got this cool perforated design there in the center. then you can see down below as well with all the bolstering. Power adjustments on the side, and I also forgot to mention this one has a roof rack. Pretty cool. Anyways, pedal layout down below, and then we got the hood latch release, which is pretty interesting. Light controls right there. You can see the wood trim that goes across. Steering wheel is power adjustable. Let's pop in. So here is our steering wheel for the Q5. You can see we've got nice leather trim all around, and then you got the darker stitching down the center portion. We have our heated steering wheel control here with our voice command, volume controls, paddle shifters here for that 7-speed dual clutch, and then we've got some controls here for the center infotainment screen. And then we have our little turn signal stock, windshield wiper stock, cruise control stock, lots of stocks. But there you go. So here is the center gauge cluster, and well, it's Audi's virtual cockpit, which is always fun. You can completely change like how it looks, which is pretty cool. There's a bunch of different menus to scroll through to see different bits of info here, just like other Audi models, and overall pretty easy to use. I like the fact that, again, I can like completely change the viewpoint depending on what I basically want to see, which, yeah, I don't know, I think it's a pretty cool feature, but there you go. So we have the Q5 here in reverse, and if we press this tab, we can change the viewpoints that we see. This has this cool 360 camera system. Resolution's really good on the camera system, and literally you can see out of like every single angle of the car, and you obviously got that bird's eye view as well. So yeah, overall great camera system. And going over to the infotainment system, you have a shortcut bar here on the side, and then you have the main screen. Our response time with the screen itself is actually really good, and again, it's pretty straightforward. It's like if I want to look at vehicle stuff, I can go into the vehicle tab, so I can go to the seats, for example, if I want. I can go into like the drive mode select, and notice we have an off-road, comfort, auto, dynamic, and then individual, the different drive modes, so you can just click on those. I love how off-road has some rocks. That's pretty neat. But yeah, overall, again, just easy setup to use, and there you go. We got some vents here, and sorry if you hear that blowing in the microphone, but anyways, climate control is down below. So we have a dual zone climate system, well, actually tri-zone climate system, because we got the zone there in the rear. But we have heated and cooled seats here at the front, and then notice we got our drive mode select right there, so you can press these buttons to change the drive mode if you don't want to use the whole screen system. Auto stop start, stability control, parking sensors, hill descent control, that just turns off the screen if you don't want to have it on for some reason. And then you guys can see with the USB port right there, and then 12 volt as well, and then storage cubby, stop start button right there, some nice stitching on the side, and then our volume control here with some wood, looks like wood trim at least around. And here's the shifter, pretty easy to use overall, and then you can just press P for park. Boom. Got our cup holders right here, and then center console. I guess that we have a removable tray, it looks like. Oh, never mind. Yeah, it just slides forward. Pretty cool. Yeah, that's nifty. Of course, it says Quattro there in the dash. And then you guys can see here with the glove box. And up top, we have a big sunroof, so like we have like a double switch situation is what I was gonna say. So you can just do the sunshade if you want with the first switch, and then with the second switch, that'll open up the sunroof itself, and there you go. Now this is a window sticker for a car that is identical to one we just reviewed. It has everything, I guess, except for the black optics package. But anyways, 2023, and you guys can see the base price there, $46,000, and then total MSRP after all options, $55,435. The black optics package would obviously add a little bit, and then also you can see the fuel. I guess the fuel economy ratings 29 on the highway and not 28. I guess that was the thing I was a little bit wrong on. But anyways, again, no major change between 22 and 23. But this is what this one looks like. That is pretty much identical to the one that we just reviewed. Now that we've gone over everything in this Q5, let's take it out and see how it drives. Let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's your visibility over the hood, both of the mirrors, and throughout the rest of the rear. And let's set off. Oh, setting off here in the Q5. And I'm picking a different driving route for this review because my last driving route, well, it didn't exactly pan out too well. But first off, having the AC seat function right now, definitely coming in clutch because it is hot today. I know I'm looking to the side there because instinctively rather, I looked to the side to see if there's any traffic coming, but that road is under construction, so there's no way for traffic to be coming. I guess it's good though that like I have that like built in, like automatically, so that like I always check no matter what, right? Safety first, right? But yeah, anyways, ride quality is really good, actually. with the Q5. I love the feeling of the steering wheel as well. I think that it just, I don't know, it has this nice feel to it overall. It's easy to drive, that's for sure. Don't worry, we will have an area where we can get some acceleration, but I'm doing this kind of like, again, different driving route. It's a little bit of a loop, but I think that it'll work out. I like the thigh bolster here that's extended. That also helps out quite a bit. And you have like lumbar support as well. Yeah, there's just quite a bit to love. And is this a manual thigh bolster? Oh yeah, it's got a little button, so it's a manual thigh bolster. You know, pretty standard stuff. A lot of luxury cars will have something like that. Cabin's pretty quiet as well. I mean, all I can hear is the AC, really. A little bit from the suspension, but it's pretty minor overall. And yeah, the biggest thing though is this is just a very easy car to drive. And it's very comfortable. I'm not noticing a lot with that mild hybrid system. So that's kind of interesting. But again, mild hybrid system, usually you don't notice a whole lot. Typically, those systems will just make it so the auto stop start function on a car is just a little bit snappier overall. And I guess it will turn here because, well, I don't know where else to turn. We're in dynamic mode, if you guys are wondering. So we do have that going for us. Ooh, just a little bit into that. That thing's quick. This thing is quick. Thank goodness we're turning right again, because yeah, waiting in that line of cars starts giving me flashbacks to the last review, guys. But anyways, let's get our full-blown acceleration here. It's pretty dang quick. It is pretty dang quick. Pop it back into auto mode. So do everything for us. So yeah, setting things up with the Q5. I understand why this is like Audi's bread and butter, so to speak. Like pretty much the A4 and the Q5 is what Audi sells the most of. And it makes sense. This is a really good car. It's comfortable. The suspension's compliant. It's got a lot of features that come with it. Powertrain's great. Like this is really good from a performance standpoint. There's not really any downsides to this, frankly. Like it's just a really good crossover overall. See what I did there? Crossover over. I thought that was funny. So yeah, if you're looking for a just really nice luxury crossover, bit of performance, Audi flair, check out the Q5. Now that's gonna sum things up for a video on this Q5. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to the strong Audi here in downtown Salt Lake for giving me some time with this Q5. If you have any questions, just ask for Landon or Mike. I'll see ya.